Welcome to the Hashtag TV podcast. I'm Michelle.
I'm Keith.
I'm Iron Man.
Just keep going. Howard.
A few weeks ago, the three of us saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. Keith, what was your overall impression of the movie?
I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as the first one, but I thought it was a good summer film. I thought it was a good ride. A lot of people were complaining that it wasn't as massive and big in scale as, say, Infinity War. But I loved it.
Said that.
A lot of people. It was a big complaint. But I liked it. I liked the smaller story. Ant-Man is built for a smaller story. It doesn't have to all be about the end of the world. It was a story about a journey to find someone, and those make the best stories. So I thought it was pretty good. I had a couple of gripes. I thought they showed all the action in the trailer. Other than that, that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, not every movie has to be a gigantic blockbuster. It's not a thing that has to be. We don't have to expect every movie to blow away the one that came before it. It's not, like Keith said, it was a smaller movie. It was, the first Ant-Man movie was a heist movie. This was a little bit of a heist, but, just looking, they were trying to find Hope, and,
Not Hope.
Whatever her name is. No, that's her name.
No, Janet Van Dyne.
Oh, Janet, whatever.
Hope's the
daughter.
Wasp.
Sorry, right. So, they were trying to find Janet, and I loved it. From start to finish, I thought it was great. You can tell that it was written towards, I know that Paul Rudd had stuff to do with the script, but, it's written for him, for his humor. I enjoy him. I find him funny. I like pretty much everything he's in. I love the guy who plays
Michael Pena.
Yeah, Michael Pena. There was a bit in the movie that I could not stop laughing. I mean, he was great. All of it was great. I loved seeing her as the Wasp. I actually enjoyed this movie more than the first one. And I love an origin movie, but this one was we already know these characters, we're already kind of in it, and it just kind of took off. And I loved her as the Wasp. I thought she added a lot to it, and them together. I loved all the stuff with him and his daughter. It was a family movie. The whole movie was about family. They're trying to find his wife and her mom, and there's a lot of stuff with, with him and the daughter, and all of that stuff is really, really nice, and I love when the daughter says to him, you need a partner, and I don't know, it just was really heartwarming, and it was funny, it was enjoyable. Hashtag better than Deadpool 2.
Wow.
I don't know. I think it was great. I didn't need it to be. I didn't expect it or need it to be this massive thing. I just wanted it to be something that I enjoyed for the 2 hours that I was in the chair, and that's what it was.
All right, Aaron.
Yeah. So, I went into this movie, and one of the concerns I had was I really enjoyed the first Ant-Man. I thought it was really funny. It was different. And I remember watching the trailer for the first Ant-Man movie and being like, oh my god, this is the stupidest thing ever. I'm not going to watch this movie. It looks so dumb. And I didn't see it in theaters. And I remember seeing it on TV and being like, oh wow, this is actually a really good movie. I really like this. It's funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it still has a good plot. I like Michael Douglas. The woman that played Hope, Evangeline Lilly. I liked her in Lost, so, it kind of had all the elements of a good movie. Is it as serious as some of the other Marvel movies? No, but I didn't think it needed to be. And then, the second movie comes, and, again, my expectation was, well, I really like the first one, but can they really live up to the hype of the first movie and kind of emulate it? And I think they did, and especially with a lot of the other more, just like Infinity War, we had just gotten over that, and that was a very serious and, just heavy movie. And I felt like this movie was much lighter, and I think that's what, embodies Ant-Man. I think that's why they picked a comedian to play, Scott, because the fact that, again, it's just a lighter movie. So I did really enjoy it. I liked the fact that they, kind of incorporated the heart of the movie from the first one in the second one, even though it was different. It still had the same kind of comedy in it. And, yeah, no, I agree with Michelle. It was, from start to finish, I don't think there was really a part in this movie I didn't like.
Nice. All right, so spoiler alert, anybody who has not seen Avengers 4. So at the end of this movie, at the credit scenes, we see...
Avengers 3.
Avengers 3, sorry, Avengers
Mm-hmm.
3. Who hasn't seen Avengers 3? At the end of this movie, in the credit scene, we see Scott roaming through the quantum realm, and we see Hank and Hope turn into dust. That coincides with Infinity War.
Hank, Hope, and Janet turn into dust.
Oh, okay. What do you think happens, and how do you think it will affect the next Avengers movie? Michelle?
So, I honestly don't really know. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I mean, I think, so we don't really know anything about Captain Marvel, right? But I know from research that she can go into the quantum realm. Mm-hmm. But, like, we haven't seen her movie yet, and her movie is going to come out before Infinity War, the next Avengers? Yes. Right. Yes. Okay. So I'm curious to see, after that movie, like, what my thought process is. Because if they address that in that movie, then I feel like she'll go in there
we'll probably get a post-credit scene of her.
Yeah. I mean, I have wondered if the quantum realm will play some part in how they defeat Thanos. I really hope them defeating Thanos is not just them turning back the clock, because I think that would be stupid. I hope it's more involved than that. But
yeah, I think it'll be smarter than that.
I mean, I hope so. But I feel like, because Janet mentions like that the time and everything is different in there, and what can sort of happen to you. So maybe they'll like put Thanos in the quantum realm, or I don't know. I'm not really sure how Scott gets out. Like, who else would know he's in there?
Yeah, it's that's the part.
That's the part that's weird. Like, if they go looking for him, maybe they'll just assume he turned to dust, and then like, because the 3 people who were there with him are gone.
Yeah, so. But maybe like a Michael Pena character didn't turn into dust.
Right? Maybe he knows.
Yeah.
So he I mean, I don't really know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Captain Marvel. Obviously that's going to be not a flashback movie, but a movie that's set years before.
Yeah, it takes place in the 80s.
Right. So obviously we'll get an introduction to that, but I think somehow it's going to be very much like Captain America, where you'll see a movie that's set years ago, and then the end of it, somehow it'll tie into it coming to present day. So yeah. I would imagine that there'll be some sort of integration. I don't know. I can't imagine that the quantum realm is used like for Thanos. Like, I feel like the quantum realm is very insignificant in Infinity Wars, outside, or whatever, Avengers 4, outside of them having getting Scott out. I think that probably be the last you see of it. But I just think it's interesting, and it's obviously one of the gripes I had about this movie going into it was the fact that I didn't really know when the movie was taking place. Michelle, you had looked it up and told me that the movie was happening before Infinity War, so it was nice that they were able to kind of integrate the story in, because otherwise it just makes no sense. If you're going to have that movie be with no reference to Infinity Wars, then you obviously should have had that movie take place before Infinity War. So, I was glad that it tied in, but I definitely think it opens up a lot of questions, coming into the next movie.
Yeah, I have no idea how they're going to get him out of the quantum realm. I'm excited to see how they're going to do it, but I do think that he is going to be a big part of Infinity 4, Avengers 4. So we'll see. I think he adds a lot to the team. He's going to be that quirky comic relief that team definitely needs. We get a little bit with Hawkeye, but not as much as I would like.
So let me ask you, Keith, because at the end of Avengers 4, the next Avengers that's coming out, it's assumed that Marvel is going to move kind of in a new direction. We're assuming we're not going to have Iron Man anymore. At least the original Captain America, Chris Evans, is going to be gone. Michelle will be very happy that it looks like Thor is going to be leaving. So,
see, you say that, but I'm not sure. Like, I think
again, that's the assumption.
Yeah, that's the assumption.
Could it change? Yes. But I'm just saying, at this point, that's the assumption.
Like, so, you back a truckload of money up to Chris Hemsworth's house. I'm sure he's going to be like, I think I can find time in my schedule.
Okay, but for this conversation, let's assume that these 3 characters, which are the main characters at the core of the MCU so far. I'm not including Hulk in that because I just don't consider the Hulk core, and I kind of consider it the big 3.
Okay.
And again, of course, there's Black Widow and Hawkeye, but obviously we know Black Widow is staying. They're going to do a standalone movie for her. So with these 3 potentially leaving, do you feel like characters like Ant-Man can kind of help carry Marvel moving forward. I mean, they had talked about having a whole like new phase where they're going to have a whole new team, and then eventually build up to an Avengers type movie where all these members kind of team up together.
No, I think we're going to see new characters. In the comics in the last couple of years, we've had different iterations of characters we loved. So we have a female Iron Man, we have a female Thor. There's different iterations of these characters. So it doesn't say, okay, we have to have this character. Right. We have Falcon as Captain America. We have Bucky as Captain America. There's a lot of places they can go to kind of give us something new but something familiar. And remember, about the time Infinity War will be coming out, the merger between Fox and Disney should be complete, and there should be integration of the Fox properties back into. So now we're going to get the Fantastic Four. You're going to get Wolverine. They've been using Spider-Man a lot, so Spider-Man's always been a part of the Avengers. So there's different characters you can now work in and make a new Avengers team. So they have a lot of options. So it's not like if they lose Captain America, there won't be any Avengers movies going forward. That's not true. They have a lot of flexibility to move forward.
Well, but let me ask you, because going back to the question, do you feel like characters like Ant-Man could kind of carry the Marvel brand moving forward into the next phase?
No,
because the thing is they're gonna have, although they're gonna introduce new characters, there's still gonna be some of the old characters there. And Ant-Man is gonna be one of those people that are still there.
I don't think Ant-Man will be that he's a transition character, but he's not. I don't think he's going to be a cornerstone. I think your cornerstones are going to be people like Captain Marvel, like Black Panther, exactly. People like that. I think those are going to be your cornerstones of the team moving forward. We might see little pieces of Ant-Man and stuff, but I don't think we're going to see Ant-Man as a cornerstone of the new teams moving forward.
Michelle, you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say basically what Keith said. I think part of the reason why they've sort of been hesitant on, like, quote-unquote, announcing a new phase is because this merger has been in process, and so they're trying to acquire these other properties and figure out what they're going to do, like, with Fantastic Four and stuff. I think once all of that is said and done, then you're going to get, we're going to get the X-Men integrated, we're going to get Fantastic Four, all that stuff, like Keith just said. And so I think that'll change the face a little bit, because those characters are big. People really want a good Fantastic Four movie, and I feel like Kevin Feige can probably do that.
Yeah, they know what the property is. So.
Right.
And actually, the guy who directed Ant-Man, years earlier he had put a draft out for Fantastic Four, and it was like a 60s like throwback like Pleasantville kind of movie, and everybody loved it. Whoever read the script was like, "This is amazing," but it never got produced. Fox went in a different direction. But so there's stuff like that out there. So they enjoy Peyton Reed. They think he does a good job. They might give him something like Fantastic Four moving forward.
Yeah. You can subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. A 4 or 5-star review would be appreciated. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at #TVGeek. That's spelled out HASHTAG TVGeek. On Facebook at #TVGeek and Instagram, or you can email us at #TVGeek@gmail.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at MimiC1019. You can follow Keith at TheKeith085, Eric at Eric S. Hoffman. I'll put a link to all of that stuff in the show notes, as well as where I write and things like that. And that'll be all for now. Deuces.